Hello and welcome to A Game of Two Halves, the new show bringing you the latest from Welsh sport. I'm your host Jake Hastings, and coming up in today's show we will be looking at the aftermath of a major clubhouse fire, the FAW's plans for the future of women's football, and Max Drinkwater James will join us in the studio to discuss Swansea manager Vita Matos and his opening games. But first, we bring you today's headlines. Wrexham AFC are set to receive an £18 million grant from the local council to develop the racecourse ground. The money is a significant portion of a £25 million government grant given to the council to develop the local area. In the Rugby World Cup draw, Wales have been paired in the same group as England, Tonga and Zimbabwe. The 2027 tournament is set to take place in Australia, with the tournament kicking off on the 1st of October. And women's football in Wales has reached a major milestone, with 20,000 women and girls now registered players in the country. This record number was initially targeted for 2026 after the FAW launched their participation strategy back in 2021. For our first story of the show, we head to Penarth, where a historic sporting club's clubhouse was burnt down in a fire. But what's next for the multi-sport club?
Devastating scenes came out of Penarth Athletics Club in the early hours of Monday morning as a raging fire tore through the famous clubhouse. The fire was caused by an electrical fault in the clubhouse's media hub, with the fire service arriving at around 5 a.m. after a call from a neighbour, spending nearly 2 hours tackling the flames. What was left was an empty shell of the famous clubhouse, with the priceless memorabilia stored inside lost in the rubble. Most notably a Springbok head presented to the club by the Barbarians in 1961, with Penarth serving as the team's spiritual home. Now the dust has settled at the club, talks are already underway with hopes to get the facilities back up and running for the various clubs who make use of them.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. We're an athletic club built up of sections. The cricket club has been here the longest. You've got the rugby club, the ladies and men's hockey. We have a running club that comes out of here. Based on where we are in the sport and season, it's rugby season. So we have a fixture at home this coming Saturday. We're in a cup match and our friends from Lampeter in West Wales are visiting us.
The game is set to be played at the Cardiff Arms Park, with bus travel to and from the game paid for by the WRU, with fans invited to enjoy pre-match at the now restored and safe Long Room Bar.
For emotional reasons as well, people will want to be here. People want to come from the local area and support and hopefully have a day where we can show that we're resilient and continuing.
Our next story takes us to the Dragon Bet Stadium in Bridgend, as we take a look at the FAW's next steps in ensuring the future of women's football.
Women's football participation numbers in Wales have grown 45% since 2021, whilst research shows 94% of girls aged between 7 and 16 across the country say they want to take part in more sport. And off the back of the women's national team reaching a major tournament for the first time in the summer of this year, the FAW are looking at ways to continue to grow the sport in Wales. I'm here at the Dragon Bet Stadium, home of Adran Southside Penybont FC, who have teamed up with Wales women first team coach Rhian Wilkinson to put on some open training sessions for young girls aged 6 to 14 here at the stadium, as well as a Q&A to help raise money for their girls development programme.
It's been really great having Rhian down here today. Obviously this morning with the young girls, just showing the talent off we have around the club, and having it now with the women's team, it's just really great to show the female football just is on the rise.
What's going to continue to happen is all of a sudden the Welsh women.
Wilkinson has been in charge of the national team side since February 2024. She spoke here tonight about the future of women's football as well as the Welsh national team.
I think women's football in Wales is about to explode. It's already exploding. We see that with our participation numbers, but it's access to opportunities, access to higher levels, professional levels. The game is only going to grow from here, and that's exciting for just sport across Wales. Leading the sessions this morning was what my job is all about, which is growing the game in Wales. So coming to a community pitch like this in a community club and seeing 100+ young people all across the field, different age groups, it makes me very happy, but also really excited about the future of football in Wales.
Field and scored. So it was 2-1 and we were right under it. And I looked at him, I was like, if we don't get through this, you're done.
It's going to be hard to determine how important these types of events are for the short future, but if you think longer term, when you watch television, when you see professional athletes, they feel very far away, very disconnected. So getting out and meeting the players, equally meeting the manager, realizing that everyone's just the same, that it's possible, it changes people's perception of what is possible. And I don't think I'll be surprised if one of these players goes on to play for Wales, because I think you can see the pathway, they see the possibility, and that's exciting for me.
On top of these sorts of events at the Dragonbet Stadium, Penybont have their Huddle campaign, which are football sessions aimed at young girls to come and enjoy football in a safer and more friendly environment, helping to build a simpler and more accessible pathway for future footballers.
I was forced to play rugby by my father, who swam, and then came to Wales.
Newport-trained Nigerian boxer Elizabeth Ashoba is set to return to her home country for a fight at the end of the year. We caught up with the fighter ahead of this great personal opportunity.
Elizabeth, thank you for joining me here today. I'm really excited to talk to you because you've got your first fight back in Nigeria coming up at the end of the month since your first 2 fights on the 19th of December. How much are you looking forward to the opportunity to fight back in your home country?
You know, it's a great opportunity for me and I'm looking forward to that like 100%, you know. Aside that, it's my home country. You know, I've got a lot of fans there. I've got my people, my family coming to watch. So it's gonna be like a great moment for me. So, and I'm looking forward to it because I can't even wait to meet my family, you know, to see them again. And because it's been a long time. I've been in this country for like more than 2 years now, you know, pursuing my career, trying to achieve my goals.
You signed recently to MVP. Which is kind of the place to be as a women's boxer right now. It's where all the best are. You've only had the 1 fight this year. It's been difficult. Why is that you've only had just the 1 fight, and how much are you looking forward to being able to have a great year next year, hopefully?
Yeah, I only had the 1 fight this year. And like I said earlier, it's been very difficult. I'm supposed to be fighting in August under the Jake Paul card, but unfortunately my visa was denied, which I don't know the reason. So I'm still working on that as well. Like I'm looking forward to fight under the card because I signed with them and I need to be fighting under their card. So I'm still looking forward to that. It's still very difficult for me back here in the UK because, you know, as an immigrant, it's not very easy. I get jealous of people at times, people that are British born, you know, seeing them pursuing their career without any obstacles, without, you know, any frustration like this, or, you know, it's one of the moments I give a thought. I thought about it, but I just encourage myself and keep going. It is what it is, yeah?
University can sometimes be the turning point for somebody, and this was the case for second-year media, culture and journalism student Bryony Sear, who spoke to us about her journey to university, her upcoming album release, and how music has played a role in her life.
So my name is Bryony Sear. I am a second-year student studying at University of South Wales, Cardiff campus, and I'm studying media, culture and journalism. High school was a very traumatic time for me. I was bullied for most of it. I struggled to fit in with people. I started to really go downhill with my confidence. Not that I had much to begin with. I was like a bird trapped in a cage for 5 years. And then when the cage was open, the bird didn't know how to fly. Music has been central to my life since I was, well, since I could talk, I think, because I was singing since I was like 3 or 4, really, around the house and everything. I used to put on my own little shows. So it's always played a massive role. And I think seeing my auntie playing gigs when I was younger, like being surrounded by family members who were very music orientated, that's kind of impacted me. That helped me when I was in school. I started to gig when I was really young, so that was helping me. I remember a boy in school saying, like, what do you do when you go home? Do you just stare at a wall all day and do nothing? Because they used to call me mute because I didn't speak. I was gigging, and I didn't tell anyone, but I was gigging, playing open mics, building my confidence in ways the school didn't provide me with. So my album, we started to work on it just after lockdown. It's been a long process, but I've learned so much, and I've learned a lot about myself through the process. Because I've been an outcast, I still am. I've been an outsider, I still am. And, you know, it's just learning to accept yourself for who you are, really, and to be proud of it. So I'm very proud.
I'm now joined in the studio by Max Drinkwater James, who is here to talk to us about Swansea's manager, Vita Matos, and his opening games. So, Max, how has Vita's time started?
Well, yeah, it's actually been a really interesting start. So first of all, Vita Matos came in from Portuguese second division side Maritimo after they triggered a £1 million euro release clause, which is contracted until 2029. Currently only played 2 games, lost 2-1 at home to Derby and then 3-2 away to West Brom. So not been the best of start. But one of the things that could be attributed to is the fact that he is still without his actual coaching staff. So he just doesn't currently have Diego Medeiros, his assistant at his former club, along with his analyst Jose Mendes and coach Gonçalo Rica. They're due to work permit issues, but they are actually expected to be finalised, and they should be available for Vito by the time they play Oxford this weekend.
So looking ahead to that game, obviously it's a must-win game with 2 defeats on the trot. Do you think they can win the game?
Well, just looking ahead of both forms are coming into the game, Oxford are just 1 point better off than Swansea in 20th, but they do come off the back of a 2-1 win against Ipswich, who have recently relegated from the Premier League. Obviously, Swansea in quite a lull of form at the moment, so it's really a game that could go either way, but it's such an important game in terms of how the early relegation picture could be painted.
And a quick prediction?
To be honest, I just can't see Swansea going back this form. I've just got to back Oxford for the win.
Thank you for that. Before we take a look at our last story of the show, let's take a quick preview of what's coming up at 11:30. And for our last story of the show, we head west to Llanelli, where a first of its kind event is taking place to raise money for a local rugby club.
Here in a small gym in Llanelli, former Welsh champion Angelo Dragoni is putting on a first of its kind event on Saturday the 13th of December, which is giving a group of young people an opportunity they wouldn't have otherwise received.
Our mission is to utilise combat sports as a vehicle to transform lives. And as part of that, the event we're putting on is what we believe to be the first of its kind in terms of the whole boxing card and each fight including at least one individual as neurodiverse. We're pairing those individuals up with professional boxers.
The money raised from the event is set to fund a tour for local mixed ability rugby side, the Llanelli Warriors. And for many of the participants, such as 14-year-old Oshan, it has always been a dream to take up boxing.
Well, it's quite intriguing and I quite enjoy being a boxer and training.
Well, yeah, he's like obsessed with boxing now, and we did have a holiday booked on the night of the event, so we've had to cancel the holiday so that Oshan can take part in the event.
This is amazing to see the improvements with them for the last kind of 6 or 7 weeks now because of their abilities. I think they'd be able to obviously compete on the amateur boxing scene or something like that. But obviously we can give them that experience and even walking out in front of a crowd and having their music played. I think it'll bring a tear to my eye, to be honest. It'll be a lovely moment for them.
Thank you for tuning in today to A Game of Two Halves, bringing you the latest from Welsh sport. We are back again later at 11:30 for our next programme, hosted by Max Drinkwater James. I've been your host, Jake Hastings, and from myself and the team, thank you and goodbye.